And
Yeah, it's Moyez, it's recording now, by the way.
so newbies, again, hands up. All right, let's start here. Tell me your name, sir.
I'm
So
starting the
everyone-
recording, Moyez.
Yeah, thank you. So everyone, welcome to the Dallas Salesforce Developers Group. We've been holding meetings continuously since 2010, I think, right? We've been doing this for 12 years, and we may have missed a month here or there, but by and large, we meet on the fourth Wednesday of every month, almost without fail, right? And we originally, for many, many years, did these meetings in person only. There was no online version, no Zoom component. And then during COVID, we converted to an entirely online method of presentation, only Zoom. And so now what we're experimenting with is combining the two, right? The idea that that we should be able to congregate and share a meal and exchange not just information, but also camaraderie, right? One of the things about the Salesforce community in Dallas is that, well, a number of things about the community in Dallas. First of all, it is one of the most vibrant Salesforce communities in the world, right? We have large companies that use Salesforce that are headquartered in Dallas. I know for a fact that just within the companies that we deal with, that my company and I, we're a small company, but we work with companies that have over 250,000 seats just in Dallas, right? And that's just one small company. So you can understand how vibrant the ecosystem is. The Dallas Developers Group has members that span all those companies. So if you're looking for a job or you're looking for folks to fill jobs that you have available at your company, this is a great meeting place. It's not just about the information that we share with you, but it's also about you meeting each other. And so I'm a great believer of hang around, talk to everyone else after the meeting, have some pizza, and just get to know everyone. It's a very egalitarian group in that anyone who wants to become a leader can. We have a number of committees that you can serve on. You can lead some of these committees. I know at least one committee is looking for a chairperson or a lead. And so anyone can kind of hop on and become part of the leadership of the group. I was the leader for many, many years. And about 2 years ago, Paul stepped up and I stepped down. It's unusual for me to be leading a meeting, but Paul was out of town and he very graciously asked me to fill in for him. And I am very grateful for the ask. The Trailblazer community, if you don't know who the Trailblazer community is, if you go to the Salesforce Trailblazer community page, there are chapters like this around the world, and you can join any one of those. There's no prerequisites to joining these groups, and there is no fee to join them either. They're all sponsored by Salesforce. All right. So today's session, we're going to talk about CPQ. And before I introduce today's speaker, I want to tell you a little bit about the community itself, the CPQ community, right? All companies, all great companies are stories about the people who founded those companies, right? There are great stories of passion and compassion and high stakes poker, and all these stories sometimes get lost in the glossiness of corporate America. But Salesforce CPQ has that type of a story. And I'm going to, before we introduce today's speaker, I'm going to tell you a little bit about some of the characters who were involved in the Salesforce CPQ story. It's a fantastic story, and it's one that has very high stakes at play. And what you see today is kind of the fruition of people just like us who got together and did something fantastic, something great. They got a couple of lucky breaks, and today we call that thing Salesforce CPQ. I'll tell you about that in just a moment. Tell you a couple of the stories that I was involved with or involved in. So I enjoy the CPQ arena quite a lot, and I'll share just a couple of those stories. But before I do that, Paul McCollum leads the Dallas Developers Group. He's out of town today. He's at Accenture these days, does this fantastic job for them. He's an architect, the Salesforce architect. And if you get a chance to work with Paul, you'll realize that this is a man of great humility, but also great intellect. And I hope that you come to one of our meetings where he's hosting and get to meet him. Really well worth it. So the Dallas Ohana is basically the Dallas Salesforce Developers Group. There's a few other developer groups. There's a few other Salesforce groups in town. The Developers Group is just one of them. But there's the Salesforce Users Group. There's a marketing group. There's a student group here at UTD, the Salesforce Student Chapter. And I think it was just the second chapter worldwide, student chapter for Salesforce. And so we're very proud of that as well. The devs do a number of things with them. We run projects in conjunction with the student group at UTD. You can find all of those when you go to the Trailblazer community group. As far as Twitter and how we kind of do our thing on Twitter, there's the hashtag Dallas Ohana, hashtag Salesforce. This is a good one. If you're tweeting and you want to become known in the Salesforce Twitter dump, if you're prolific on Twitter, the Salesforce hashtag gets you heard everywhere, worldwide. So very powerful one. And the @Salesforce Devs is also a very powerful one. They monitor our meetings. So if you're going to tweet today @Salesforce Devs, they'll know that tweet is coming out of this room or from our online community. The rest of us are on there. I'm on there. You see my Twitter handle, Paul and Amay, Lars, who's a local, really outstanding MVP, Salesforce MVP. Nana Gregg as well. She's a Salesforce MVP in town, and Megan Brodsky as well. She's not local, but she's really a fantastic person. These are folks that likely you should @mention if you've got a Salesforce tweet. So let me tell you a little bit about the committees that we have and where you can participate if you have a desire to do so, right? So on our security committee, we've got Waqas Nasir, really a brilliant mind when it comes to all things security, but particularly Salesforce security. I'll tell you that I had a security concern on one of my orgs, and Paul said, "Why are you talking to me? You should be talking to Nasir." And in fact, that's exactly the correct answer. If you've got security concerns or questions, Waqas Nasir is your first stop. Local fellow, and he also leads our committee on security. Flows is Boris. Flows are really coming into their own right now. So this is an active community. Platform Dev, if you want to lead a group and you have a desire to become a dev, please see me or talk to one of the folks about maybe putting together some presentations and running that committee, the Platform Dev Committee. Integrations, Paul does a fantastic job. You'll see that once or twice a year, sometimes more. He does presentations on integrations. Nathan is our LWC guy. If you've got an LWC question, there is no one better than Nathan. He knows the ins and outs and some of the minutia that sometimes keeps your LWC from doing what it's supposed to. Nathan's a brilliant guy, and I urge you to get to know him as well. Nana Greg, new and existing functions. If you get a chance to meet Nana, she's not a dev per se, but she's a super admin. She's local, and she is very, very well known and liked in the Salesforce community. And then nonprofit stand-up. I like to do nonprofit work, and the Dallas Dev Group has given me the opportunity to give back and to do stand-ups for different nonprofits, and we've been doing that for many years. Committee work, if you want to do some, absolutely, this is the way to get involved, right, in our leadership. News and update. I don't know if you can really read that. I'll read it to you. We have a number of presentation venues, places that you can present at, right? Certainly you can present at this type of meeting, and it's a great place to try out a new subject, right? If you want to present on something that you're just getting involved with, this is a great venue to do it. The next level up is the regional Dreamin' events. They're called Dreamin' events, and they're community events. We have one in Texas, naturally called Texas Dreamin'. Florida is coming up, and I think they have a call for papers open right now. If you Google Florida Dreamin' 2022, I've posted the link here, but those of you in the room likely can't see that link. Google Florida Dreamin'. Similarly, we have another event coming up. There's Florida Dreamin', and there was one other one that's coming up. I don't have it on this list. I urge you to get involved in speaking in community events and then raise your game to speak at our national/international event, which is Dreamforce, right? Dreamforce admins have already opened their call for speakers for 2022. And you see that there's a link there as well. If you can't see it, you can Google Dreamforce 2022 call for speakers. Guys, do this. This is where your career goes to the next level, is speaking at Dreamforce. It's an international event, and it has great, great exposure. This is free advice. It's the best advice you're gonna get, right? Do this. Send your papers in. Send your subject in, right? You won't necessarily get picked, but you will get picked the second time or the third time.
Hey, Moyez.
Every year, send in 2 or 3 papers, and they'll pick 2, or they might pick 1. They haven't really ever stumped me. I've never had 0 papers. But don't ask for 1. Ask for 3. And then if they give you 3, well, then you're working hard at that. Right? But do this. This is the way for you to get known in the industry. This year, I think it's in September. Does anybody know the date on Dreamforce this year? I think it's in September.
No.
Thankfully, guys, rooms this year are not outrageously priced.
September 20th.
September 20th, thank you. Normally, getting a room in San Francisco for this event, if you want anywhere within a 5-mile radius, expect to pay $1,000 a night. $1,000 a night. I don't know if that's a lot of money to you, but it's a hell of a lot of money to me.
Not even a nice room.
Not even a nice room, right? And so people stay in Oakland, and they stay by the airport, and then they check it in. This year, you're able to get a reasonably close room. I think I've already booked my room, $300 a night, which is not great, but it's not horrible.
That's pretty good.
I agree.
But don't tell my friend Kevin that hotels are affordable, because that's a good place to stay.
Yeah, so I'm
That's where I
staying-
stay.
Where are you staying?
I always stay at my friend Kevin's house.
Oh, well, that
Take a
should be
bus.
free.
Yeah, but if he knows hotels are cheap, he may tell me to take a hike.
Yes, I agree. So if you can get a friend, if you can bunk with a friend or something like that, and there are hostels and other things that you can also explore. But try and attend this event. It's a good event. It's to get to be known. All right, I'm taking up too much time here, so I'm going to run through some of these events.
I pasted your links into the chat.
Thank you very much. So Paul left me a slide about a presentation that he's doing with Adam Olshansky, but I'm wondering if this is an old slide. Nathan, do you know?
I wouldn't say it's old. I think it's like slowly progressing every few months, and it looks like they're on either session 4 just came out or it'll be next. But this is a really good thing, I think, for anyone interested in development. Just because it covers like core concepts, which I've always found really valuable. You know, being a Salesforce developer is easier when you know core development.
Nathan, do you know, do they just have these on YouTube? What's the link to get to?
I'll try to find it and paste it in the chat.
Okay, thank you. And so then normally we have a session here with Wakas. Wakas, are you online with us today?
Wakas couldn't make it. You missed that chat.
Yeah,
He won't be here today, unfortunately.
No
for
problem.
work.
I'll skip over this. But let me tell you about this kind of 2 minutes with Wakas that we do at every session. Security is becoming like absolutely forefront for Salesforce, right? And that follows the trend. Corporations that they work with are beginning to take security very, very seriously. And so we give Wakas time every month to kind of tell us, hey, what is that new thing that we should be aware of? And unfortunately, he's not with us today, but he will be next month. And this is a recurring segment for us as well. So next month, security and permissions that every dev should know. And Amit Chowdhury is going to be the presenter there. Guys, if you know anyone in the Salesforce community, Amit is one of those folks that you should know, right? It's just as important that you should know. Get involved. This is a big man in our community, and kudos to Paul for having pinned him down for next month's presentation. August is the CTA journey and the exam advice from Angela Figueroa. If you are an architect and you want to achieve this certification, the CTA certification, it's not about writing an exam. It's a journey. It's multiple exams. It's field work, and then it culminates with an interview in San Francisco, or occasionally they have them in other parts of the world, where you sit in front of a board for 6 hours and you solution a problem that they've given you, right? And there's no guarantee of passing, but a number of really outstanding folks in our community have taken it upon themselves to show you how you can get, to mentor you towards that solution. So if you have a desire to become an architect and become a certified architect for Salesforce, then that's the August session, and I urge you not to miss it. I won't miss it myself. All right, let's talk about Sunil Annam. Sunil has been a Dougie, I want to say, for 6 years. Has it been that long? No, not quite that long.
I'm coming to this meetup, probably 3 years.
About 3 years. Well, no, COVID's been 2 years. So
It's been 2 years, but
before that, 2 years. Okay.
I've done Oracle and Salesforce
So
was not always.
not always Salesforce, but
In 2016,
Yeah.
I moved from dark side to Salesforce permanently.
you move to the dark side.
No, from dark side to Salesforce.
So Sunil is going to talk to us today about the Cpq methodology, right? What is Cpq, right? Before I bring him up, I want to give you a little bit of a history on Salesforce Cpq. Few years back, maybe 5, 6, 7 years back, the granddaddy of the lot was a product called Aptus. Aptus Cpq ruled the world, right? Every major company, if they were interviewing for a Cpq solution on the Salesforce platform, it was Aptus. So much so, in fact, that Salesforce had bought a stake in that company. They were one of the early investors in Aptus. So Salesforce Ventures, which is the venture capital part of Salesforce, had an interest in Aptus. And no animosity. They used to co-sell and did a fantastic job. Along came a new company called Steelbrick, run by a young man by the name of Max Rudman. Some of you may know Max. And Max's company was definitely kind of the young upstart, right? And they were fighting for wins, quite literally, one org at a time. And most of the time, they didn't do very well because of the presence of Aptus. Aptus had first mover advantage. Now, there was a difference between the way that these two companies approached Cpq. And Sunil, I don't want to steal your thunder. I don't know if you're going into some of the history of this, right? Okay. So there's a slight difference between the way that these two companies approached Cpq. Aptus had the idea that they would build their entire product basically from the ground up. So lots of custom objects, right? All their opportunity and other objects were their own custom objects. I don't know if opportunity was one of them. It's been a while. So Max had a different idea. Max's idea was, let's try and leverage what's already there and extend it. So where his team could, they built upon existing functionality. Now, that wasn't always the easiest thing because it was part of that architecture was already set in concrete, right? Opportunities and quotes and all of those are tied together. You couldn't do funny things. You couldn't natively put junction objects between these standard objects. You couldn't do some of the weird things that Max decided he was going to try and do inside of the Steelbrick product. So there are two different approaches. One was a blank slate approach, and they had some fantastic functionality. And there was the Max approach. Now, I was trying to remember earlier exactly what year this happened, but it happened very, very quickly, right? I think it was 2015. So we were all at Dreamforce that year. And Dreamforce, I think September, October, somewhere in that time frame. And the big thing that year, the very big thing that year was trying to move corporate America to use Lightning. Now, most of you don't remember that Lightning was not the big thing. Everybody said, no, we have a lot of money invested in what you're now calling Classic, and you want us to abandon it and start using Lightning, right? So that year, Mark Benioff made it his mission to talk about nothing but Lightning. Everywhere he went, every session that he did, including the keynote, was Lightning. And there was no Lightning components. It was a brand new environment. Their first foray into Lightning was kind of wrong-headed. They had the tabs on the left-hand side instead of the. It wasn't even really a well thought out infancy, right?
Moyez,
Sorry.
closer.
Okay,
Can-
sorry.
can you-
Sorry.
It's okay. Can you, yeah, like that? And then if you could put your face on the camera so we can see, but just stay within a
Right.
few feet. We're having trouble hearing.
How about
Oh.
here? Can you hear me now?
Wonderful.
Okay. See, I'm so
Oh.
close to the computer that I don't get to wave my arms. I'll break the computer. But okay, for you, Nathan, anything.
Thank you. We have one more request. Full-
Go ahead.
Full screen on the PowerPoint when it starts.
Oh, yeah. Okay. So,
And then we'll let you continue. You're doing great.
okay, thank you. So where was I?
Thank you.
So
Lightning.
lightning, yeah. So one of the things that happens at Dreamforce is that if you're a partner, if you're a product partner, you get to have 5 minutes with Mark Benioff. 5 minutes, right? Not 6, not 7, 5. So what is this? You walk in, you do your thing. Hi, how are you? This is our product, and you walk out. So Max Rudman, like 100 other guys, walked in and said, Mr. Benioff, blah, 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 here's our product. You know, we know that you have an investment over here. It's not entirely 100% correct because they at that point, Ventures also had an investment in Max's company, right? So they had their feet in both places. So Mark Benioff asked him this one question, and he said, so that's all well and good. When are you going to be lightning ready? And the next few words made Max a millionaire many times over. You know what he said? Sir, what you're seeing is lightning, right? That changed the industry. Mark Benioff said to Parker Harris, who was in the room, all right, we should buy these guys, right? Get the deal done, get it done quickly. He walked out of the room. So this is about now November timeframe, right? They consummated that deal ahead of schedule. By February, they had purchased Steelbrick, and Steelbrick was at that point then Salesforce Cpq, right? I tried to reach Max Rudman, I think it was in March, because one of my large clients was debating between the two products, and we were working with both companies at the highest level. Couldn't get a hold of Max, right? So I called Peterson, forget his first name. Anyway, this fellow I used to work with at a stadium many years ago. And I said, hey, where's Max, right? He said, Moyez, Max is buying a boat in the Caribbean. You're not going to be able to reach him for a few weeks. So Max made out well in that transition. So this put Salesforce on the Cpq map, right? And Sunil's going to tell you what Cpq is in a moment. A few years later, Salesforce decided that if they were going to play in this arena, they needed to be at the rightmost, uppermost corner of the Gartner Magic Quadrant. Those of you who know Magic Quadrant, Salesforce was doing well, but they weren't all the way to the right and all the way to the top. And so then they bought a company more recently called Velocity, and that gave them a number of vertical market Cpq niches. Today, Salesforce Cpq is at the right uppermost point in that quadrant. So hopefully that whets your appetite on what is Salesforce doing with Cpq? Why are they so intent on this funny sounding product? Sunil is going to kind of talk to you about what this product is. And if you feel on the surface of it that it's kind of a boring, kind of not exciting, more very difficult thing to understand, don't let that get to you. Corporations right now are beginning to understand the power of, I call it complex pricing, but Cpq gives you consistent pricing. And there's very few people who understand it as well as Sunil does, because he's compared not just this product, but multiple products alongside it. With that, let's take a moment for us to switch computers, but would you join me in welcoming Sunil, please? Sunil, are you logged in already? Okay, go ahead and log in. Or if you'd like to send me your slideshow, I can run the slideshow for you. It's
I think I will run.
all right.
So, yeah.
So Sunil, if you log into Zoom, and then Nathan will promote you to panelist, and
Yes.
then bring your computer here, and we'll give you the projector. All right, guys, give us one moment to set up, okay?
Okay. Thanks for staying close. It was very clear.
Yeah, we need a better solution
learned-
for that.
We learned how to buy a yacht. If you-
We'll get it done before next meeting. We'll get it right. All right, give us just a moment, okay?
Okay.
Nathan, if you'll
All right.
promote.
Yep, I see him. And oops. Promote to panelist. So, Sunil, or let me know when you. Moyez, we might need your microphone.
I'm sorry, say again?
Well, we may need your microphone, but let's see.
Okay.
Sunil,
have
can you unmute and try to talk through yours? See how it goes? Yeah, we can't hear him.
Okay, can you hear me now?
Oh, yes, perfect.
Perfect. Thank you.
Okay.
You may all know what I know.
And if you have a camera, that would be great.
I'm
but
100%.
it's your call.
Everybody online can.
It just cut out the last part of what you said.
Hello? Can you guys hear me?
That's good.
No?
Sounds good. I can hear.
I don't know what this means. It's on, so it should be okay, right? Okay.
Are you talking, Sunil? Because we hear some things, but not talking.
Can you guys hear me?
Can you hear me?
I don't know.
Oh, no. You might need Moyez's speaker.
Hello? Yes. Okay. Perfect.
Can you hear us?
Yeah, we can hear you just fine.
Perfect, okay.
Okay, so little about me. 20 plus years working on CPQ, code to order,
It's not working.
and that's where I started working. I've done this for almost 22 years now, and I have worked in
And Moyez, can you use your mic and mute? Sunil, can you mute? Oh,
They want us to teach how to do it.
oh,
And
this
we
is
will
good.
teach you Salesforce and Aptos. So first couple of months, I went through training to learn Salesforce. And then learn Aptos. Then I started working with their guys who are implementing Cpq in the field, side by side, understanding what they are doing, telling them, no, we should do this, here is how we should do. And then we developed a course for Aptos that is only for the experienced implementer architects that teaches them how to implement Aptos Cpq. Even after that, I moved on to Salesforce, and Aptos is, I don't think it is there where it was before. But this was my exposure to Salesforce, and
You know what, I tell you what, you can leave yourself on mute and then we can just use my microphone. I think,
okay, so I can go on.
yeah,
Yeah,
let's
we
put
get,
my microphone here.
Okay.
thank you.
And
We
you
get
can- you can put yours on mute.
Perfect.
And let's see here.
You put
You
your
put your camera on him too.
There we go.
There
You
we go.
understand right
Okay,
there?
I think this is good.
Okay, so can you hear us okay now?
You sound good. You
Okay,
can
cool.
see Sunil. We could see Sunil.
It's a MacBook Pro.
Yeah. The new one?
And I am Salesforce certified admin, Sales Cloud, CPQ, Aptos certified, and on the top you see that accredited Revenue Cloud consultant. Now that Revenue Cloud is something that Salesforce came up in last probably 2 years or less. So what they did that after they acquired Steelbrick, there was another product called Sales Billing. And when you have a subscription product, like your recurring billing, your Netflix, Amazon, your AT&T mobile, every month you are getting a bill and how to generate that out of CPQ. So that is what Salesforce Billing can do. They merged those two and created a new product called Revenue Cloud. So Salesforce CPQ is a small part of, not small, I think more than 50% of Revenue Cloud. But Revenue Cloud, it's a product in its own. Now, what are we going to do is we'll talk about what is CPQ in terms of the process, object architecture, why CPQ, history. I'm going to skip that part now. And well, I think I haven't updated this agenda, so let's not worry about it. But before we go into more detail, how many of you have heard about CPQ before this session was And how many of you have used it or some person? Okay, couple of, how about online guys? Oh, somebody is CPQ specialist, awesome. So CPQ is CP and Q, right? The first C is the configure, that is how to select a product, and selecting a product and how to make sure that that product you selected is right, or the next product you select that fits with that product. So it ensures the accuracy of your quote. It helps you with the selection of the product by various ways that we are going to see in little detail now. Pricing part, so it's whatever you select on the quote, if it is discounted, or if you buy one product, another you get 50% off, those kind of thing. Or if you buy in a bulk 100 quantity, it should be discounted automatically. You can set up those kind of rules declaratively without writing a program in CPQ. You can also give the manual discount on top of it, and then generate a document. So whenever a company is doing a business, they want to sell something, you create a quote, a salesperson creates a quote and creates a quote document or a proposal or order form, whatever the name they use. But that PDF can be generated out of the same tool. Now here on the top, we are seeing a tool for sales team to create quote. That is what CPQ. But I will say that's a understatement. CPQ is a lot more. And it's not just a tool, or if it is a tool, what kind of tool? It is Swiss Army knife. So in one tool, you can do so many things. In one product, you can have product bundle, price rule, search filter, and so on. I have not listed everything here. So this is complex. And we saw just now on a chat window, somebody said that, recruiter said that CPQ is the hottest skill right now. And I completely agree, because I want to hire somebody, I'm not getting somebody even after paying lots of money. So that's how it is today. Now in the process wise, and I think I can remove my stop part screen somewhere.
Thank you. Sure.
I don't know how to hide it completely, can I?
Yeah, you can unpick it. You can unpick it. Oh, in the left, yeah. Three dots.
Is there a pin kind of thing? I don't know. I'll move around a little bit. I think on the top also I have something. So it's entire customer sales cycle on a single data model, single data set, starting with the opportunity. So Moyez mentioned about the opportunity. And yeah, you're right. Aptus was trying to create their own opportunity object. And probably that was one of the things Salesforce did not like. I think you had a very good article on LinkedIn comparing Aptus and Steelbrick at the time, immediately after that. So, yep. So creating an opportunity, creating a product configuration on a quote, and then the CPQ is going to price and discount it. You create the quote and proposal out of it, send it for electronic signature, create a contract out of the document. You can create the add-on quotes or create the order out of it. And finally, once the order is there and contract is there, you can send it for renewal. So the whole life cycle can be managed by CPQ. This is irritating. Thank you. So this is the object architecture, and the objects are in yellow, orange kind of. They are the standard Salesforce objects, and blue are specific Cpq objects. So there is account and opportunity which you get in a Sales Cloud or basic Salesforce. On top of the opportunity, there is a quote lines. Product is standard product 2 object. But on the product 2, there are attributes, features, options, price, cost, other objects that Cpq adds. Even in the product 2 or account and opportunity, when you install Cpq, it adds Cpq specific fields. So it's kind of leveraging the existing functionality to make Cpq work. Similarly, asset, contract, and order, they are standard Salesforce object, but there is subscription and contracted pricing on top of those two. And now the subscription flow or the life cycle flow. Can I see properly? So we start with the account. On the account, create an opportunity. Now opportunity, I don't know, everybody understands what the opportunity means. But when a company is trying to, I mean, most companies sell something, right? And when they are selling a product to their customer, opportunity is the object where you manage what you are selling it, what stage it is it a negotiation stage or it is initial discovery, how much the amount will be, how much it's going to add it to forecasting. So you are tracking your deal basically using the opportunity. On the opportunity, create a quote, and on the quote, add or edit products. Configure the options. We'll talk about what does it mean in a few minutes. You price and discount. And once your quote is ready, depending on how you have set up, you send it for approval. So if sales rep has created a quote but given 50% discount, yeah, the approval rule will fire and say, okay, it has to be approved by vice president or it has to be approved by this manager. So that's the approval flow. And once it is approved, generate a document, PDF. It may or may not have e-signature, but DocuSign and Conga and Adobe Sign, all those can be integrated with Cpq. You can install those plugins and they fit right into Cpq. So the PDF you created, that can be sent to digital signature to your customer. And once that is done, the opportunity is closed won. Now from the opportunity, you can contract it or you can create an order and contract it. And this is where the initial sales cycle ends. So started from account, created opportunity, quote, customer accepted it, sold it. Yeah, that's where the contract is created, and contract tells that what your customer owns today. But after say 6 months, customer comes back and say, you know what, I want to increase my number of licenses, or I want to upgrade my product or downgrade my product. Start from a contract, amend the contract, and it's going to create a new quote for you, a quote containing what products customer already has. Modify that and complete that cycle again. Or say it was a 12-month contract, after 12 months, you can renew it. Now, I said lots of things. I am not the guy who likes to do presentation with a PowerPoint. So I have limited slides, but I'm going to jump into Salesforce.org and going to show this step by step. So I don't want to bore you guys with just PowerPoint. But anybody has any questions so far? No?
Do we have a lot of development, or how do we plug in because you talk about LFC effects and all those things, but what I see is totally different. Like maybe we will be using flows or something like that.
You can, but lots of places Cpq itself has so much you can do out of it.
Okay.
Yeah, only things that you cannot do with Cpq provided rules or the functionality, you can write a JavaScript. You can do a plugin. But flows not on the quote object. It's not recommended. Yeah, we don't normally don't do, not on the quote object. Yeah, you can do before or after. So on the order or opportunity, yes, you can do apex there.
So the people who have like few years of administration experience, this is like a hot cake right now for them, right? Because if they learn the Cpq, they don't need to go into the entire development and learn about apex, all those visual codes and everything. This is like they can get a easy switch.
Right. Yeah, you don't have to do apex. Yeah, this is declarative completely, right? But like Swiss Army knife, you need to know which tool to use when, right? It has 15, 20 things. So just learning that how the discount schedule work or how the price rule work, you have to go above that. And that's where the experience will come into picture.
And this is probably jumping ahead, but is all of the configuration, to my understanding, is all data, correct?
It's all data, yes.
So you can't like retrieve your metadata.
Yeah.
Data driven.
It's, everything is data here.
Interesting.
And I think that just reminds me another story that Still Brick guy, he developed this, everything is data, but now you have to migrate from one environment to another. Is a pain. Because metadata you can. So he started another company called Prodly to migrate Still Brick data. Now he made money out of that too.
They just had their Series A funding for Prodly.
Yeah.
So he's building that one. It's going to be bigger than Steel Brick.
Yeah.
But the idea is that, hey, if you have all this data, it's all interrelated.
Yep.
And you want to move it somewhere else, are you going to really fire up data loader to do it?
No.
That's too much. So that's the problem.
So about the Prodly, the tool, what they say is the guy who created the problem, now he's giving you a solution.
Well, also, Auto and Peerset have models.
Yeah, they have a plugin, but not easy to use.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And if you are in the field, there is a very good tool called Blue Canvas.
Uh-huh.
And Blue Canvas has created Cpq data migration tool. And what they have done that on one screen, I can show it at the end, but you can say that, okay, this is my source and this is my destination. On the left side, there is a tree, you can say product. And in the center, it's going to show which product exists in a source and not in destination, or it's a different attributes. Same thing with the price rule, product rule, summary variable, everything. And you can say, okay, I want to move those here to here. But that just works for Cpq.
This is becoming a much more common model for a lot of.
Oh, data, configuration as data.
Yeah, so
I totally dislike it.
but to the point, Auto is definitely struggling with moving complex data like this over. And some of the other add-ons and managed packages that are out there.
Copado has created some scripts and everything that go in this order and everything, but they are not supporting it. Okay. This same Cpq process flow in a different dimension. So there is opportunity, that's a header object, and there are opportunity products. Who uses it? Deal desk or sales apps, sales ops or sales reps. These are the persona which primarily, not always, use those objects or those screens. Quote and quote line, order and order products, contract and subscriptions. Now, when we create a quote and it has a quote line, so you have added your products, the same products will sync back to the opportunity product. And when you convert the quote to order, same products go to the order. And when you convert the order to contract, they will show up as a subscription. So it's same information maintained in one common data model, basically. Now the question is, why Cpq? So let's look at the typical sales process. I know some of the things I already talked, but I think repetitions will help sometime. So normally in the business, when you have a large and complex product catalog, so that there are companies who have thousands of products, and they have multiple business units. And those business units are doing totally different kind of businesses. They are selling different type of products. Cpq makes it easy to select a product or convert a code to order. You have a large number of SKUs. How do you search for right kind of SKU? You have multiple SKUs for same product, and simplest example is warranty. So you have 1 year warranty, 3 year warranty, 5. You don't want to make a different product out of it. And that's where Cpq can help. If you have a dependencies, like if you select product A, you need to have product B, or you cannot have C, those kind of details, you can do it. In the pricing side, you can do buy one, get one kind of, or any kind of discounting. And if it is time-based product. So I think that is the one important concept called subscription products. Cpq handles it very well. And I think Cpq is meant for that, I will say, then one-time product. I mean, it can do one-time product, but subscription product is something that you buy a subscription, which is for 12 months. And after 5 months and 3 days, you want to return it or you want to upgrade it. It's going to automatically calculate that, okay, what is the difference when you are upgrading? You already paid for 12 months. Now, how much money you will be refunded and how much you will be charged for remaining period. And those proration calculations are done beautifully within Cpq. And the final one is the quote order contract documents. Now, I'm sure many of you have done the creating a Visual Force page or some kind of code to create the PDF document out of Salesforce. Not from the report, but just even good presentation looking. But Cpq provides a declarative way that there is a code document object, there is a template object, there are terms and conditions. You can just put to write things together, and it can grab your data from your code. It looks at, okay, code is for this company, puts on the top. Here are the products. Here is a discount, and all those things it just does out of the box without a single line of code. Now, C of Cpq. So you can optimize your product catalog with Cpq. Like I said earlier, 1 year, 2 year, 3 year, or 1 to 10 units, 11 to 25. You don't need to have a different product, even though your pricing strategy says that there is a different price for different units. You can do one-time product, which are physical items mostly, or a service sold one time, or a subscription product like a Netflix or Costco subscription. And I'm talking about this Netflix, Costco, they are kind of a smaller example, but came across lots of companies who are providing SaaS solution to businesses, and that's where I've seen most of the Cpq implementation. The next is bundling products. So bundling is a good concept. So if there is a product, you can sell it as standalone. So on the quote line, you just add a product. But I don't think I have an example in the screen, but let's say you have a computer. You want to sell a computer, right? So on a laptop, you can have memory, and you have a CPU, okay. Hard drive. Those are main components. Now, those are kind of creating a bundle. So you don't want to create a separate product for each combination of memory, hard drive, CPU. There are a lot many parts. Instead, you create a bundle and just say it's a laptop. Now, give 4 choices of memory, give 6 choices of hard drive, and we can choose, and it makes a dynamically created product. And that's what the bundle is. Guided selling, that's another key feature of Cpq, that it asks you a question, like, again, going back to the laptop example, Cpq can ask you a first question: why are you buying this laptop? Is it for office use? Is it for your gaming? Or it's for education? And based on your answer, it narrow down choices that, okay, Gaming requires different type of CPU. It requires more memory, so it's not going to be this combination. It's going to be different. And depending on your answer, it's going to ask you next question and the next question. So it's called guided selling. You can define the product category or product family and segments. And those can be used in product rules or price rules. On the pricing side, Cpq, so P, it leverages the price books. So you can have one or more price books. You can have different price book for different product line or different currencies. You have different pricing strategies for volume based or term based or customer specific, like a company has a negotiated price for a specific customer, and it's contracted pricing. You can do cost and markup or block pricing. And finally, discretionary discount, that salesperson can decide that I can give 10% discount on something, and that can be done on individual line or entire quote. There is another thing is called percentage of total. So say if you are selling some hardware, and with the hardware you have a extended warranty. Now, how do you price the warranty? So if you bought hardware of $100,000, it's 10% of that. It can automatically calculate once you add extended warranty product. It say, okay, hardware total cost is 100,000, 10%, 10,000 is the warranty cost. Proration, we talked about it. There is a beautiful thing called target amount. So say you created a quote, you have put 6 products, it comes out $77,000, and customer said, my budget is 70,000. So can you do something? You don't have to calculate manually that, okay, I reduce this price, this product, that product. You put a number 70,000, it's going to distribute across all 6 products. And then there is a partner and distributor discounts. So it will automatically calculate partner and distributor discounts if you have a hierarchy setup. And finally, the queue. So customer facing documents, I think we talked about that. It can be quote, proposal, order form. And in those documents, you can have brochures added automatically. So you can set up Cpq in a way that I create a quote for this product. It should automatically add a brochure, marketing literature, or it can change the T&C dynamically based on which product you have added. Before we go into key features, and I think I'm going to change gear and go into Salesforce to walk you through some of the things.
But does it have a inventory feature? I feel like that would be super helpful. Like if you pick a product, it could take away from your inventory that you have in the system?
No. So that is ERP. So what you are talking about inventory is ERP. This is front-end system, it is sales tool. But yes, you can connect this and look into inventory and give a real-time display that, okay, what you are selecting, we don't have, or we have very limited quantity, but it's not part of Cpq. Yeah. Okay. First of all, this is my developer org, and I have installed Cpq and set up few things that I can show you that how those things declaratively can be done when you create the code, how the discounts are applied automatically or products are selected automatically. But before we go into that, if you go to install package, it shows me that, okay, I have a Salesforce Cpq installed, right? Which version it is. And if I click on the package, So package is Salesforce CPQ, and I'm looking for SBQQ. It doesn't. Okay. The namespace prefix is SBQQ. This is still brick quick quote or quickly quote. And every object that Salesforce has created or Stillbrick has created, or every custom field that is part of CPQ is prefixed by SBQQ. So you will see SBQQ underscore underscore and then whatever the field name is there. And this is my CPQ. And you can see the different tabs that I have organized it the way I want to see. I'll go to my accounts and all accounts. And I'll start with say edge communication. So this is my customer. I'm going to create a code, but the first I'm going to need an opportunity. So I'll create a new opportunity and I'll say, and I'm starting with prospecting. Now this opportunity is not Salesforce CPQ object, but it has few fields that CPQ needs, and they are created when I install the package. Is there anybody right to ping me? Okay. So
I think we think you're showing the wrong screen.
okay.
If you shared your slide, we can't see anything else you're doing.
Okay. I think
So maybe you have to share your screen and not the app. All we see is key features.
So.
I think share the screen now. Yeah, it's screen. So it should show everything.
So you still seeing this? Yeah, there you go.
Oh, that's much better.
Okay,
You can
That's what
see-
we want. Opportunity
I
622.
can see it here, so I can. Okay. So do you want me to? I went through a couple of steps, couple of screens. Do you want me to?
Could you back up a screen or two?
Sure, sure. So first thing I was showing that I looked at the install packages, and there is a Salesforce CPQ manage package, which is basically Stillbrick, and the namespace prefix is SBQQ. So every custom field or every CPQ object is prefixed by SBQQ because it's part of manage package. And then I went to accounts. I selected my edge communication and created a new opportunity. And this is my opportunity. Now, an opportunity, I'm going to create a code. And I will say my code is primary. I pick my opportunity and account. Do I need anything else for now? No, I'm good. Now this is the code header. So it has an opportunity and the account information, and there are lots of other fields that right now we'll not worry about. Now there is a button called edit lines. Now this code is CPQ object. And when I clicked on edit lines, it's asking me which price book, and I'll say standard price book. Now this screen is called QLE, quote line editor. Currently, it has no line items, so I need to add a button called add products. And when I did add products, you see I have lots of products. So in the beginning, there is a GenWatt diesel. So diesel generators, they are industrial products. And then I have MS Excel and Office and those kind of thing. And then there is service level agreements and Visio. So you look at the product family that I already set up. These are industrial product, and this is SaaS product and service products. Now, imagine that I have probably 15 products in the catalog, but I still have to look what I want to select or what I want to sell, right? So imagine that a big company, large company, which has thousands of products, and salesperson wants to create a quote, and he knows what kind of product he is looking. So I will say that I want to sell SaaS product. I can click on this filter and I'll say I just want SaaS. And now it just filtered out. Now in this one, I will say start with MS Office. Now, what I have done, that MS Office is set up as a bundle. So bundle consists of Microsoft Teams, Excel, Word, PowerPoint, and Visio, and they are in two groups. These are the core products. This Visio is advanced product. Some of the things I just made up just to demonstrate something here. So MS Office is my bundle, and it contains multiple products, and depending on my customer's need, I can select that, okay, they just want Excel and Word, and that's going to suffice. Or some customer is going to need personal PowerPoint. Now, if I select PowerPoint Personal Edition, you see this one disappeared. I cannot have Professional Edition because I cannot buy both of them together. And similarly, the Visio is not available. If I select the Professional Edition, I can select the Visio. Now this is, again, it's completely declarative way of defining that what is available in which combination. So this is a simple product to sell, but if it's complex, salesperson doesn't have to remember all the rules that if I select something, if I select two things which are not compatible, it's going to be a bad deal, right? Now, once I have done that, I'll say, I just don't want, I want 100 of them. So it's 100 licenses basically. You see the Microsoft Teams was already selected. That's how I have defined the bundle, that Teams is included anytime. So you don't have to purchase it separately. And I'll just save it. So now it shows me that MS Office bundle has these three products selected. I have set up the price $120 per year, right? And 100 licenses is 12,000. Now, if my subscription term is 24 months, it's going to say it's going to do the proration calculation, and depending on whatever term I put, it's going to give me the prices. But what I've done, other thing, that instead of 100, I want 250 of these, and I'm just doing only one of that. Now it's 120 was my list price, right? But its net price is changed to 142, right? So yeah, let's just make it 12 months simple. So it gave me the discount because I made the quantity 250. Now, what kind of discount is this? If I move my mouse here, this is how I had set up that for quantity 1 to 100, there is no discount. 101 to 250, 5%. 250 plus is 10% discount. Same thing is done with Microsoft Word, but since my quantity is not exceeding 100, it's okay. When we talked about this, let me jump to product on the other screen. And let us say that Microsoft Office. So this is a product in a product catalog, and where I define the product name, product code, I define the product family, and that's how I filter between the products, at least in this scenario. But the other thing is Cpq configuration. So if I have defined that configuration is required, configuration event is always, Cpq assumes that, okay, this is going to be a bundle, and it is a subscription product, fixed price, 12 months. But MS Office, you saw that it's at the top level, right? So on the related list, you see there are features. I have set up 2 features, core and advanced. If you go back to my code and go to configure, I have 2 features called core and advanced. So that I have defined on the product. And I have 6 options. So first 5, or not first 5, first 4 are associated with feature core. Visio is in the advanced. And MS Teams is included, or it's bundled. So just by setting this scenario or the bundle in this fashion, I could get this bundle working, where I can show the 2 groups and can show that MS Teams is already included. What about the discounts that I give? So the discounts are given on specific products. And I'll go to my MS Word. And I have set up a discount schedule. So I'll open this in another screen. Now this is my discount schedule associated with Word. And in this one, I have declaratively specified that 1 to 101. The upper bound is not inclusive. So actually it's 1 to 100 is no discount, 101 to 250 is 5%, and anything above 250 is going to be 10% discount. Now, earlier, you made a comment that this is all data, and you can see that whatever I have set up, this is data, right? This is not metadata. So when we migrate from one environment to another, it has to make all the referential integrity that this discount schedule is associated with which product, and it can be more than one.
Change that.
No, it will not even recognize it. So this was my bundle thing. I'm going to come out of this code, or I'm going to delete this product. And I'll say that I want to add those industrial products. I'll change my filter and say industrial. Now it's just showing me these products. And you know what? I've set up some rules, but I don't remember what did I do. So I have to go into rule first. Okay. So I selected one genset, and it's $5,000. Now this is one-time product. This is not subscription. So changing time is not going to change the price, because it's not a subscribed product. It's not every month recurring charges, right? But if I say I want to buy 5, it is 25. And if I do 6, then in that case, I have to look into my rule, what I did. It's not. It's on installation. Yeah, I do my installations. Now installation is 5,000, and say I did 5 gensets, it gave me 50% discount on my installation. And that's a rule I have set up. On 5 or more genset, installation is at 50% cost. Now, how does that rule set up? So the price rule has a price condition, and that condition is like your if statement. So if this condition meet, take this action. That's how the rule is set up. So I'll look at the rule that I have 2 conditions: total genset greater or equal to 5, and product code on this line is starting with IN. Now I could have done it differently too, but this was probably straightforward in this scenario. I could have created installation as a separate product family or a product category, and say any installation product should be discounted. Go back to my rule. And once this condition is true, what should happen? It's saying the discount percentage should be 50. Right? Now there was another rule, only one SLA per quote. Now this one says that total SLA, service level agreement, is greater than value 1, then something needs to happen. But it's a validation rule, so it gives a message you can have only one SLA. So let's try that. Add a product, and I need to change it to service product. And say I want 2 of this. And so you can have only one SLA. So all these things that we saw so far is without doing programming, just using the CPQ setups, you can say. Let me just go to some of my slides to make sure that I'm not missing something. Yep, I think there is one target price books. I'll go back to my code, and this time I will complete that Microsoft Office bundle. And I'm just keeping that 100. I don't need anything else for this demonstration for now. Now, earlier I talked about the target price. So my total came out 24,000, right? And let's say my start date was January 1st, 2022, and it was for 12 months, right? Now, customer says, you know what? My budget is 20,000. And I entered that, calculate, and it made the total 20,000. It gave the discount $20 per unit automatically. So based on my target price, how long do you have?
You can go for a few minutes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So this is the deal we are selling to customer, right? I saved my code, and let's look at the code document, and I'll just preview it. And it created a document. I can specify which logo to use or all the addresses. It said that, okay, I have 2 products and the cost is 20,000. I can send it to DocuSign, to customer for DocuSign. Currently, we haven't set up that. But let's just assume that we have done all those things and even the discount was approved, because even approval is a huge topic. I don't think we can cover that anymore. But now I convert my quote to order. And so until the quote stage, it was like customer may buy this, but customer accepted the quote, digital sign. Now we can say now it's my firm order. And if I go to my order, and it created the order 102, I have all the same products came to order, right, with the same pricing. Of this product, I have to activate, and activate is like fulfillment. So if you are doing provisioning over the air or some way you are shipping it, that's what the activate does. And in Cpq tool, you need to activate the order, and then it's called confirmed or booked. But I have the order ready, and the next step is a contract. So I'm contracting the order. And I have contract 102. So contract is a header object and it has the same subscriptions that we had on the quote, right? And the start date and end date. Now, anytime you look at the contract and look at all the subscription, that tells that what your customer owns today. This is what they purchased, and this is the agreement, the start to end date, everything. Let's say today is June 20th and customer says, you know what, I want to make some change. And you go to the contract and say amend. It's going to show you that, okay, these are the things you are going to get on your amendment quote. And once I said yes, what it is doing is it's creating amendment opportunity and amendment quote. So for the initial deal, we created opportunity and quote manually. But the amendment, it starts from what customer already has. It comes to the amendment quote automatically, and you start working from that point. So it brings me to the quote line editor for the amendment quote. Now you see that there is a price is 0. Why is that? Because customer has already purchased and they have already paid us. If I want to make any change, I need to go and reconfigure and say customer wants to buy PowerPoint Personal Edition and they want to bump up, not this one, 200 licenses for Excel. Let's just keep it minimal for now. Now, the amendment starts from 6/23, and okay, it starts from tomorrow. That's what it is saying. So what Cpq did for the PowerPoint, it was $60 per month or per year price. It calculated that for remaining of the year from now to December 31st, it's going to be $31.48. I can increase the number of licenses or whatever, it is going to maintain that proportion. And similarly for Excel, it's adding 100 more licenses. So for the remainder of the term, it's going to be $42 per license. And I can move it from here, and customer has to pay me extra $4,327 for the additional licenses they purchased for remainder of the year. Now, that is called amendment. So if I come back to the screen, you can see that there was an opportunity created called amendment for contract 102. And code type is amendment. I can take this code and convert to order and contract. The contract will be modified. Let's just do that quickly. And then we'll not go through the renewal cycle, but we'll just talk about it, how it works. So this is my amendment code. I'm ordering, and it created a new order 103. Now you see that on amendment order, it is just the delta of the products that I added. It doesn't contain all the original products, only the difference. I'm going to activate the order and contract it again. And I go to my contract. Let's look at the subscriptions. Now here it tells me that from January 1st to December 31st, I have this first 4 line and 5 and line number 5 and 6. Those started on 6/23. I don't have a quantity displayed here in the column, but it can tell you that how it went from 100 to 150, when it went. It maintains the pricing and everything. Now, today is June 22nd, right? And come October or November, you want to make sure that your customer renews this and pay for the next year. How does that work? That on the contract, I can say that renewal forecast. If I check this, it's going to create the renewal opportunity for next year. And renewal quoted, another checkbox, is going to create the new opportunity for new quote for the next year. And you can start all over from that point. So this was the complete CPQ cycle. I think, let me see if I can go back to. Yeah, the slides of all the data models, but I don't think that's going to be very interesting. So we started from account opportunity, we want the whole cycle, contract got created, and then middle of the year, in the middle of the term, we amended the contract, went back to opportunity and the quote, and finished the cycle. So now the new contract is there. So this is the CPQ process or subscription flow. Any questions, any thoughts?
So let's say at that 6-month mark, I wanted to buy more of the Microsoft Word or whatever, but I wanted it to be a full year. Do I add that onto that same?
So you don't want for next 6 months, you want the full year. That's a very good
Do
question.
another opportunity?
Yes.
Okay, gotcha.
So there are 2 ways. Either you cancel this one and start a brand new for the total quantity, or additional quantity, but the new opportunity.
But I'm going to start the new opportunity for the ones that I
Yeah,
add on, right?
right. So you added 100 more, you can create a new opportunity and create the brand new contract. But at the time, you will have 2 contracts sitting, 2 separate contracts, right? Another option is amend the existing contract and terminate everything. Zero out everything and then create the another 2 ways of doing it. It's not that one is better than other.
But if I cancel out everything and they already paid up front, then I would have to issue.
Yes, you have to issue the credit. You have to issue the credit. Yeah.
People already paid for everything upfront. It's the power of what Sunil is showing you here is that during the course of contract, you can amend it and add on fractional pieces. Everything terminate on the same day. Powerful to think about it, right? What your need is actually a very simple need. Yeah, I need 100 more licenses. Here they are. Here's the contract. Sign it. We're done. It's got nothing to do with your contract.
Yeah, if you want for the full term, then create a new one. But if you use the Salesforce billing along with this,
Yeah.
it's going to automatically calculate that one was canceled, another was new one, and here is a difference customer has to pay, no matter which way we do.
Which way you do it.
Yeah. The billing works that way.
That's the power of CPQ comes in, it's very complicated to build a correct solution for your company. It really is. No, anybody tells you it's simple, don't believe them. Sunil, I'm sorry.
Oh, I have never said simple.
It is a
It's a-
complicated thing to build. Once it's built, then to use it is very straightforward. Right? The opportunity for developers, or really, this is advanced admin, this is not developer, right? Because you're not ready. The opportunity that exists in the marketplace for the advanced admin is once you build this system, your management is going to come to you on a regular basis and say, gee, I want to add, I want to change, build this new rule. Right? You know that thing that we had last month where if you buy 100, you get the next 20 free? No, we want to change that. Who can do that? You, right? If you're a CPQ admin, that's you. So, and it's not straightforward. Once it's gelled in your mind, you're the guy who can change it, right? Not somebody else. So this is it's a growth opportunity right now. There's a great deal of brain damage in learning this stuff, right? But there are some good resources to learn it as well. And also the demand is very high. For this,
Very high,
this
yes.
skill set right now,
Mhm.
right?
It's tremendous right now.
What Sunil went through is kind of, here's the toolbox. But your company doesn't care what the toolbox is. They're telling you, hey, here's our sales process. Go use this tool to build it. Right? That connection is where you guys can.
And like I gave analogy of Swiss Army knife, you need to know which tool to use when, then it's the right use. And CPQ is like, it's solving a puzzle. You are given few pieces and then you need to understand how do I do it. If you are doing a programming, you can do anything.
So where do you go to learn this?
So on the trailhead, there are good resources. There are good trailheads. I think that Amit Chaudhary had good sessions and he did free CPQ training. It's available online.
Okay, so that's on YouTube?
I think it's FX Academy, whatever it is. Yeah. Yeah,
FX
somewhere.
Hours?
Yeah, FX Hours.
Amit has a good series, and then Ashley Alum has, in my mind, the beginner stuff, and Ashley Alum with a company called ID Equality. She's got 4 or 5 videos on YouTube. Those are really brilliant in actually explaining to you how CPQ works, right? Understanding the data model is important, and Ashley does that really well. So yeah, you're right, Amit does a brilliant job. And that's on Apex, what did we say, Apex? Hours. And then Ashley Allen just has the videos on YouTube. Both of them outstanding people. They're both MVPs, Salesforce MVPs, and both of them quite brilliant in their own rights. So no, thank you. I appreciate the presentation. Would you hang around and mingle after?
Sure.
Okay. Nathan, can you hear me? Sorry.
Everybody online, okay?
Yeah, we're here. Thank you. Thank you
Sure.
for the presentation.
All
Very
right, guys,
nice.
we will see you. We'll see you next month. I hope that you can attend, if not in person, then online. And we certainly appreciate that you came today. Have a great day, guys.
Oh, Yamini has the question.
Oh, sure. Sorry, I should have. said-
So I want to explain that because I think it was a little hard to hear. But Amit Chowdhury is he runs Apex hours and is like completely prolific with information and good at promoting lots of really valuable topics for developers and architects. So I'm excited to see him present next month. That's who I guess has been
Yeah.
lined up. And then I'll try, okay, the request is for the link for next month. And I want to say it goes out, like if you're on the mailing list or if you're a member of the Dallas Developer Group, you'll get the email every month, a few weeks before. And if you have any questions, reach out to Paul McCollum. He will tell you how to get on the meeting next week. I think I will miss it, unfortunately, but I'll try to
Thanks.
make it.
Thanks.
So,
Do we have
okay.
additional questions online?
Yeah, if anybody wants to stay, tell me. Otherwise, we'll close the Zoom. Everybody good? Oh, here we go. We got the link.
Thanks, everyone.
Okay, thank you very much.
All right, guys, have a great day.
Bye. Bye, everyone.
Bye.
I guess I'll leave. You can end it. Oh, no, I'll end it.